right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. So let's go ahead and get started with the analysis. And like I said, we're going to have to kind of beat V through all this analysis really quick. So as you can see, the euro dollar, the immediate reaction to a deal getting done in Europe was a spike up in the euro, but the euro immediately faded right after that. And now the problem that you got in the euro dollar is it's meandering near its lows. In my opinion, it looks like a flag pattern. So the euro looks like it's just going to start its breakdown later today. To me, this is going to be pretty critical support. You can see where we're at and why we're holding. All right, so here's your hourly chart. And I guess what we should do is take a step back for a second. Obviously, unless something dramatically changes here, I don't see the euro, coming up to those levels. Barry, who I don't know if he's listening in this morning, Barry had give me this trend line that he was talking about on Friday. So I'm gonna remove it really quick. Remove that. And so what we're dealing with in the euro dollar is really just this minor uptrend, and that is holding for now, but I don't know if it's going to hold the rest of the day. Matter of fact, like I said, it looks very flaggy to me, meaning it looks like it's we've got this flag pattern that's just going to break lower. It's just waiting to break lower now. If you take this 15-minute chart, looks like this. Okay, and in my opinion, it's probably going to break down sometime in North American trade. We're going to start to see it move lower, but we'll see. I want to double check and see what this fib level is that we've stalled at. Really, just kind of hovering around the 618. Let me go out to an hourly chart really quick. Let's go from the lows to 50% retracement. 50% retracement and a 618, just all holding the euro dollar currently. We're just kind of congregating right here. So basically, a break through the lows of the day would suggest that we're moving a lot lower. So let's figure out what those levels are. If we break through the lows, which comes in at 110.50, so 110.50, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and copy that and just do something like this, just to give us an idea of what we're looking at here. So 110.50 is our first level support. After that, it's really 109.50. So you can see if we do hit new lows on the day, then we should have some follow through. Should be some decent follow through. Okay. 110.50 is support for now, and we may break through that wall while we're on air here. So 110.50, that's support. Resistance. So should we get any type of rally back, or if we keep grinding here, which could indeed happen, let me just grab a pen. So if we bounce around like this, right, we could very easily come back to 111, which is, the gap that we had at 5 p.m. Eastern yesterday. That's where we gapped from. We could make it even up to 111.10. Okay, should be right here. So I'm going to give 111.10 as resistance at the moment. And I think anybody who's on the long side of the euro is probably going to be happy we get up to 111.10. I just don't know if we're actually going to be able to do it. Okay, we are in a range environment, but I believe that the downside of the euro dollar is probably starting today, meaning if you go out to this daily chart, I believe, just kind of if you got guys like a broad brushstroke of what we're seeing here, I believe this, this broader move in the euro dollar is today may actually be the day where it's we start rolling over and getting ready to start this downtrend. Because remember, guys, I want to explain it to you again, especially if you're just starting to tune in. the reason why the euro is down on a Greek deal is because now the market's looking past it, saying, okay, Greece is out of the way. Look at the ECB. What's the ECB going to do here? They're going to stay lower for a lot longer, and the Fed's probably going to start raising rates soon. So, this is really a very valid argument for a euro dollar to trade below parity in the coming, few months. Very valid argument, especially with the deal getting done in Greece. Because if if there would have been a Grexit, I think I could, I can safely say that no one, myself included, would know exactly how the market's going to react, and there's a lot of ifs out there, but we just don't know. There's a lot of unknowns. Um, when you're dealing with a with the Greece in the eurozone, we know what to expect. We do. We know what to expect because we know what the ECB is going to do. They're going to keep rates low. It's not like they can raise rates. They're going to have to keep that liquidity flowing because they're going to have to compensate for Greece and the rest of the periphery, right? So I think this is you look at the euro dollar. Oh, the euro is going to try to break now. It's just, looks like a matter of time before Greece break or before the euro starts breaking down again. But below 110.50, it's going to start accelerating. Okay, but we're in a range trading environment. But the longer term look is, we get below 108, 107.50, somewhere down here, and it's going to start getting ugly. We're not dealing with that at the moment. Let's go over to the cable. So the pound is a beneficiary of all this. Now, the question that I have is how much upside does the cable have? How much? Look where we're at right now. So let's delete everything here. Okay. And let's redraw this. Just okay. We've already rejected a 38% retracement in the cable this morning. We hit spike high, new highs. I'm sorry, high, spike high, new high, relative strength hourly going the other direction. It's bearish for the cable. So my question is, how long is the pound going to hold up here? Because is the dollar strength going to be too overwhelming? Should the euro dollar break below 110.50, is it going to drag down the cable? I would think so. So with that being said, let's focus on I was going to right. There's an hourly chart. I mean, if I was long the cable, I'd be looking right at the chart, just like that, pretty much. Maybe even a little bit. Right? That's what I would be looking at. So, if you're long the cable, where do you go? Oh crap, I'm long the cable. Why am I long the cable? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And I'm not long the pound. I'm not short the pound. I'm just, I'm asking if I was long the cable, thinking, man, what a great weekend. The, the cable rallied. I knew it. You know, Greek deals positive for the cable. Fantastic. I made money. And then at what point do you go, oh crap? Maybe I should be getting out of this. Um, I mean, I think support's here at 155 and a quarter, but really where I think you're going to start seeing sellers like really emerge would be below the lows of the day. So the lows of the day come in at 154.80. What is it? 85.90. 154.90. Okay. So I'm going to write down two levels of support for the cable. 1.5 55, well, 54.90, which is the overnight lows, then 155.25, which is more current support, which was, we might test it here this morning. Resistance, I'm going to have to mark up today's highs is resistance. This euro looks like it's about ready to start. The highs are 155.90. We're in a range for now. The euro, is that hitting new lows on the day? Lows is at 53. We're about ready to. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go over to the Swissy. So I bought some Swissy. I'm long at my Calc average is at 65 this morning. As I told you guys, I'm going to be selling Swiss francs, and I'm adding to it above 95. Well, there's two places to add actually in the Swissy. So let's just take a look here. Okay, first of all, come on, 4-hour chart. There we go. Okay, let's delete this. I'm going to redraw. Okay, so as long as we stay above 93.75, it's bullish, period. Okay. Now, for today, as long as we stay above 94.20, it's bullish. Well, I mean, it's bullish intraday. The trend hasn't turned bullish. I'll show you where it does. 0.9420. We are still in a range. I know I'm already getting long this morning, but we are in a range until we break above 95. What is that? 95.50. Okay. Now this is going to be resistance for today at 95. Well, there's two. 95.15, then 95.50. Okay. 0.9515, 0.9550, and above there, that's a key level resistance. We take that out, it's bullish then. Okay. And then we're going to start squeezing. I think we'll start squeezing back towards parity on the Swissy. Okay. Okay. Dollar yen, trying to get through all this so we don't have to do any more morning analysis with go through this while Steve from Athens joins us. So the dollar yen, last week we had a false breakdown. We were on Friday we were testing this resistance. Obviously we broke out because of the developments over the weekend. Now let's figure out where the retracement goes to. So the dollar yen, significant resistance and a gap fill right there, 123.85. The spike high over here is 123.60. So anywhere between 123.60 to 1.2385 is resistance. Okay, we are still in a big, fat, juicy range. As much as I was hoping it'd break down from last week, obviously, people got really excited about a possible Greek deal, and then spiked right back up. Support. So this blue trend line, the reason why I'm leaving it here is because that's support now. Any move back down here should be very well supported. So if we get a dip, 122, 75. Should be well supported. 122 point. Let's go over the Canadian. I'm still long the Canadian. I have no reason to sell my dollar Canadian. Still long. From Well, oh, I did add a little bit on Friday, so my cost average is at 125.17 now. It was at 124.80, but now my cost average is a little bit um, higher because I actually added to it on Friday. I'm going to delete this for now. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at this, like this, because this is obviously what's going to do the trick. Above 127.80, and then support is 126.35. As long as we're above 126.35, it's bullish, and it really breaks out above, well, really breaks out above 128. 128.50, but we have to overcome this 127.85 first. 127.80. So 1.2780, and supports at 126.30, right? 35, 126.35. Okay, and this is bullish. Remember, the long-term charts for the dollar Canadian are very bullish, and still are. Let's go over the Kiwi. So I haven't looked at the Kiwi yet, and Kiwi, we were hoping on Friday we'd get a rally to that yellow trend line. I just don't know if it's going to happen here. It can't even rally with risk appetite. That's the scary thing about the Kiwi. Dow futures are up 124 points, and the Kiwi dollar's down 10 pips on the day. I mean, if you're long the Kiwi, you're like, what the hell? I mean, if positive risk environment can't rally the Kiwi, probably the most lucrative carry trade, the most attractive carry trade out there, I don't know what's going to rally the Kiwi. Seriously. And if you're long the Kiwi dollar, you're probably thinking, oh, the only chance I've got right now is that stocks are moving higher, and my Kiwi is, and the Kiwi should be going up. That's what anybody who's long the Kiwi dollar right now is thinking is, oh my God, I can't believe this thing's not going higher. So you have to imagine that we're in a pretty tight range here, but man, if we break this low, which comes in at 66.80, low 66.83, yeah, 66.80, we're going to test those lows, 0.6680, and then obviously the resistance now is 67.70. Actually, today's, or the highs here, 67.50 are really important, 0.6750, and we remain in a severe downtrend with the Kiwi. Let's go over to the Aussie. Oops. Oh, did I screw that up? Thanks, Malcolm. Sorry. Sometimes I... Oops. Sometimes I put the decimal point in the wrong spot, even after all these years. Okay, here's the Aussie dollar. Same type of thing, with the Kiwi. It's like, wow, we get a bounce in copper. We get a bounce in risk appetite. We get a bounce in everything, and the Aussie can't rally. You got to be thinking now with the Aussie dollar, holy crap, if it can't rally on all of this all these positive risk moves, what's going to rally the Aussie? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like, if things are so great, why isn't this Aussie posting some sort of rally? And if you're long, you're thinking, oh my God, you know, what point do you go where you just throw your hands up and say, get me the hell out? I'm sure that's the question that Aussie longs are facing right now, is they're thinking, damn, where do I get out of this thing if it can't go up with all these positive developments that we're seeing? Right. So the range right now is from basically 75 cents to 74 cents. We're obviously closer to the 74-cent level. That's pretty key support. 0.7400. I'm going to put an asterisk because I think it's important. 0.7500, and we are really still in a bearish trend. We are just, if you think about it, we're less than 100 pips away from multi-year lows in the Aussie. It just looks like it's teetering, ready to roll back over again. Okay, let's go take a real quick look at the dollar index. Let me grab that for you. Okay, so there's the German DAX right up against resistance, by the way, for you guys that trade the DAX. So here's the dollar index. So the dollar index, 97.20 and 97.75, but 97.20 is going to be the first level of resistance for the dollar index. 97.20 and support lows from Friday, which will be 95.45. Okay. We're in a range, 95.45. But remember, we may be in a range right now, but I want you to take a real quick step back in the dollar index, and I want you to look at it this way. Think about it. We're in a range, but we're really just consolidating a massive bullish move. In my opinion, the dollar is just aching to go higher. And now that we're past this whole situation with Greece, or it seems like we are, as soon as that passes Parliament, that might be the nail in the coffin of dollar bears. Then now you've got everybody focused on an ECB that is going to keep rates low for probably for years and years and years to come, and you're going to have the Fed that's going to start raising rates, and that could be the argument for another strong dollar rally coming down the pipe. Okay. So I did everything. I did not get the peso, the Norwegian krona, the Swedish krona, which I gotta tell you guys, the Swedish krona is probably real close to breaking out if it hasn't already. So I haven't looked at the chart yet this morning. I'm just making an assumption here. So yeah, it is. Okay, watch the Swedish krona. If it's not today, I don't think we need to watch it today. Well, for those of you that trade it, you might think about getting long today. If the euro dollar breaks through lows of the day, I'd be then focusing on the US dollar Swedish krona, because if this thing breaks above 860, it's, look at it. Let me get rid of this really quick. Just get rid of some of this stuff. Okay. Look at how bullish this chart is. Again, you guys, if you trade the Swedish krona, I just want you to think about this. Look at this consolidation. after this massive bull run. Look at this massive bull run, consolidation. I mean, oops, I'm accidentally, I didn't have enough room in my cursor or my mouse pad. So let me do this again. So you got this massive bull run, consolidation. In my opinion, it looks like it wants to do that. It's just waiting. You know, that's what it looks like to me. So anyway, keep your eye on the Swissy or the Swedish krona for those of you that can trade it. Not necessarily thinking right at this very moment, but um, again, if the euro hits new lows, you might want to turn your attention to the Swedish krona for those of you that can trade it. I mean, Norwegian krona is probably very similar. I mean, this thing's incredibly bullish, especially if the Iran U.S. deal goes through. We get more crude oil into sloshed around the system. This is going to not help Norway. Um, anyway, okay, I'm done. I'm going to put you guys on break for just a few minutes. I'm going to go grab some water. And I'm going to drink a little bit of my coffee because when I come back, we're going to bring in Steve from Athens. And so remember, if you have any questions for Steve, great. There's already been a few that have come in. Actually, there's a lot that's come in already regarding Greece. And I'm going to, we're obviously going to talk about some of the questions. I'm going to see if I can pin him down for a little bit to answer some questions. I know he's really tired. It's obviously as a Greek, situation's been really tough for him recently. So don't go anywhere, folks. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Be right back.